Hey folks, Mark Bushy here, your guide to all things real estate in Fargo, North Dakota. Today we're going to dive into a crucial topic here in Fargo, special assessments. What are they? Why are they important? Stay tuned and I'll explain everything. This is Living Large in Fargo. Okay, so special assessments, what are they and why do they matter? So special assessments, think of them as a little surprise bill that comes your way that's imposed by the local city government, and they're used to pay for things like road repairs, infrastructure, utilities, stoplights, things like that. This is a way that they use to pay for these repairs. So why do we have them? So special assessments are essentially a shared economic program with the city so that the residents of the city can pay for the cost for things that need to be fixed or repaired in town. Think of when you repave a road out front of your house, or when the sewer system is outdated and needs to be replaced. They share these costs through all the residents in that area that will benefit from those projects. It's a way to mitigate some costs and get a lot of work done with the city. So while this method is used in many markets, Fargo has a much different approach when it comes to new development, which can add significant costs to buying or building a brand new home or in a newer area. So in most markets, when a developer comes into an area, they come and buy a plat of land and they're going to put roads and streets and sewers and then build houses out there. Typically, the developer covers these costs. Well, in Fargo, I don't know how many years ago, maybe 20, 25, 30 years ago, there was an agreement with the cities here that the city would cover the cost of this infrastructure and assess a special assessment onto the land. So the developer buys the land, the city covers the cost of all the infrastructure, and there's a separate fee added on to each lot or each parcel to cover the costs of these, improvements. This means roads, parks, sewer lines, mailboxes, street lights, fire hydrants, you name it. All the things you see in a development that allows utilities and roadways to exist. So these costs are assessed to you as a separate fee along with your property taxes. They're not property taxes, they're a special assessment that is separate, but you'll see it on your tax bill. These can be significant. I'm in a brand new house right now. I just moved in spring. My initial assessment was $42,000. That covers all the roads and everything in my neighborhood. I've seen 30, 40, 50, 60, 100,000 specials. They can be very significant depending on quite a few different factors. Now, people worry about this because they're wondering, I have to pay all these specials. It's such a big cost here. Well, if the city didn't do this, the developer would do it anyways. Someone's got to pay for it. So it would just be added to your lot price or your house price when you bought the house. So one way or another, these roads and this infrastructure is getting paid for. So when you purchase your property, you're not just buying the property, but you're buying any special assessments that go with it. So it's very important that you do your due diligence beforehand to find out if there are specials and what the specials are. Your realtor should be doing this for you. Your lender is going to want to know as well, because this is going to affect your payment. So brand new developments or newer areas, significant specials. If you look in older neighborhoods, you're going to have typically a lot less specials, but you do have to be careful because we'll still see quite a bit of specials in certain areas. One big one is older neighborhoods that have bad sewer lines leading from the house to the road. This can be $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to replace these sewer lines, and most people don't have the money to pay the cash up front for this. So they will put it on as a special assessment with some of the cities here. So you have to do that due diligence. You have to look and make sure with the county or the city that there are no significant specials, or if there are, that you're prepared to pay them. Unfortunately, special assessments are a way of life in the whole metro area. So we have Fargo, of course, is the main city, West Fargo, our sister city, and then Moorhead is just across the river in the Minnesota side. These are our three major cities in the area, and then a couple surrounding towns, and they all do tend to use special assessments to pay for this infrastructure. There's a few developers, rarely, that will not use special assessments. They'll pay for the infrastructure up front and just pass the costs on to the buyers. But it's something you just need to be aware of. To find out what the specials are on a property, it's as simple as going to the city website. Fargo, West Fargo, and Moorhead all have very good websites to find these special assessments. Some of the smaller towns, they don't have a very detailed website. You may just have to call the office, give them an address or parcel number, and they'll provide the total amount that's owed and what the monthly payment is. So when you visit these websites and find out the specials, you're going to see a combination. It's usually street projects and utility projects, sometimes maintenance projects. Fargo's got a great website. If you go there and click on the actual project number, you can see what the project was and how much was assessed, and all the details of that loan there. The way they're assessed it's kind of different in every city, actually, to be honest, and they do it a little different, but typically it's based on the square footage of your lot and the front footage of your lot as well. So Bigger, wider lots are going to have more special assessments assessed to their property. Also, corner lots usually get hit with more specials too, because you get the front footage, and they also consider the side lot, about half of that too, as front footage. So you will not only get more sidewalks to shovel in the corner, but you also may get more special assessments. Most developers are aware of this, and they'll try to spread those specials out so they don't get hit so hard, but it's a factor involved for sure. So when you look at these projects, like I said, you might see something like streets. Well, it might be just the road in front of your house. If that's the case, it might be a street that goes for 10 blocks long. Every house along those 10 blocks will get a notice. They're going to get new specials out there because they're going to repave the road. In other cases, when it's larger projects, like for instance, an arterial road, a main road that's nearby, they may go as far as a mile wide and assess all the houses and properties in that neighborhood because they will benefit from the use of this major roadway. In Moorhead, we had a project here a few years back. They put an underpass in. We have trains go through town. They put an underpass, and it was a huge project. They had to move like parts of the school and a gas station and some other buildings, and they assessed out quite a distance. I have a property that was about 1.5 miles away that we got assessed specials for that project. So wherever they think it's going to benefit people, those are the people that will be responsible for paying for that project. So how do special assessments affect your payment? Well, there's 2 ways you can pay your specials. One is you can just pay them off right up front. If there's a $40,000 bill or a $10,000 bill, you can write a check to the city and just pay them off right away. Typically, most people don't do that. They make a payment annually along with their property taxes. The terms of these loans, it's a loan basically that's applied to you, to your property, and the terms of these loans are online, and you'll see what your annual payment is and what the interest rate is and how long you're going to be paying it for. Now, this could add hundreds or even thousands of dollars to your annual payments, which add significant amount to your monthly payment on your house. Okay, so here's actually the website from the city of Fargo for my actual house. My address is not on here. If you want to come visit, give me a call. No. Anyways, my address is not here, but this is my actual house. These are the special assessments that have been assessed to my house in my neighborhood. I'm in a brand new house that was finished spring of 2023. Every house on my street was brand new, and the specials I think initially on my house were 41 or 42,000. The total here you can see is just under 40,000, and it also shows the payment that I make annually. If I take a look at some of these here, I can actually click on these again, as I mentioned, and see more details about each one of these assessments here. But you can see on here, it's mostly utilities and roads, and there's breakdowns of what each of those projects was and what they cost and how much it costs for me to pay those off. Here's a closer look here, another screenshot showing I clicked on one of the road projects, for instance, that was the largest sum in all of my specials. It shows what the project was, the term of the loan, the interest rates, what the payment looks like, and how much I still owe on there. So this is important information. These rates will vary and the terms will vary. Sometimes you see 25 years like this one, or you'll see 20 years or 30 years, 15 years, and you'll see rates that vary between 3, 4, 5, 6%. And so you might actually look at a certain special assessment and go pay that one off if the rate's higher or the term doesn't work out for you. There's a way to save on some of your payments by paying up a few things up front. Okay, and this last screenshot here shows what everyone really cares about. What is the actual payment? So my special assessments, it's just under $3,000 annually. This gets added to my taxes, like I mentioned. I owe just under 40,000 in specials here. So when I pay my property taxes each year, then this amount, this 2,900, gets added to that and it's paid at the same time. And every time I pay that 2,900, it takes off a little bit off of that total of 39,000. But remember, there's interest there, so it's not all principal. It's part of its interest as well. So I'm not paying off 2,900, unfortunately, but I'm paying off a significant portion each year for the next 25 years. So again, specials, they're a big deal. You want to know what they are. Okay, now I've taken some time to scare you about specials, but fear not. With planning and advanced knowledge, it's honestly not much different than any other area, because one way or another, this infrastructure gets paid for. It's just being done in a different way here with this assessment. As I mentioned, most developers just pay for these things up front, and you're going to pay for it in the price of the house or the lot you buy anyways. So the specials are a thing. That's the way we do things here in Fargo. It's just something you have to be aware of when you're buying the house. If you go online for like Zillow, for instance, go look for a category for special assessments on Zillow. They don't have it. So when people come to our market and they see this thing called special assessments, it's new, it's sometimes scary, but it's something you can plan for and just make it part of your payments when you're planning out. When the lenders look at the property and they pre-qualify you, local lenders in Fargo will know about specials. I highly recommend you work with a local lender. You have Rocket Mortgage and other these national lenders. They're fine. I've had people work with them and have good deals. Oftentimes you talk to them though about Fargo and special assessments, and they don't understand the significance, and they need to when they get you qualified. So make sure you have a realtor that understands it. Make sure you have a lender that understands it, and make sure that you understand it so you know what it is that we're talking about when we bring up this this nasty swear word as it seems to be perceived here in Fargo. I did work exclusively for 7 years in new land development here in Fargo. I got to watch a lot of Fargo, West Fargo, and Moorhead grow dramatically over that 7-year period. Every day I heard from builders, I heard from homeowners, buyers, why are the specialists so high? What are these, this number is kind of scary. Simple matter is, do you want to drive your house? Do you want to have toilets to flush? Do you want running water? Do you want lights? Do you want these things? Do you want mailboxes? This is how it's paid for. We have to pay for it one way or another. So it's a way of life in Fargo. Deal with special assessments. All right, well, that's all I got. Are you tired of hearing the word special assessments? I'm tired of saying it. We say it all the time. If you have any questions about this, if you're looking to understand a little better or anything else about the real estate market in Fargo, reach out to me. Give me a comment below. I will respond to all the comments. You can always give me a call, 701-793-8543. That is my personal cell number, or shoot me an email, markbushy@gmail.com. Happy to discuss or answer any questions you have about real estate in Fargo. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to learn about special assessments here in Fargo and about our Fargo real estate market. If you're finding this information useful and you want to see more of these videos, I really appreciate it if you like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It really helps me out and lets me know that people are watching and getting something from the content here. Until next time, I'm Mark Bushy, man of real estate, living large in Fargo, signing off.